Majo John Ned in Parque Acamal, Mexico. I want to say a few words about crime and economic equality. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democrats know accurately that the issue in America is economic inequality and how to lift people out of poverty. The Republicans are doing an awful hard job to convince people that the issue is crime. They've been doing that for generations. What was it, Ronald Reagan, Willie Horton? Made a big deal out of black people being criminal. Stereotyping. Getting the people to believe that the poor people are criminals. And I'm going to say a little bit about my personal situation here and why that gets me thinking about this. In Mexico, for generations, the power rested in the rich. The right wing ran the government for a long, long time, I guess right up till AMLO, Abraham Manuel Lopez Obrador. He had, I think, 1 6-year term, and then that's all he's allowed, and now Claudia Sheinbaum. Well, he did a lot to lift the poor out of poverty, social programs, safety nets, so people don't have to be so desperately poor. Because of that, he was incredibly popular, and Claudia, his successor, won by an 80% landslide. In the U.S., they've been doing such sophisticated job of selling people on the notion that blacks and Latinos are the problem. Now, Acamal is a humble pueblo. Right across the street is where the rich people hang out at the resorts. And I live in the poor end. I just took a little tiny house in one of the poorest parts of this relatively poor pueblo. I've been realizing I don't want to make my place look like a rich gringo moved in. I love my neighbors. The neighbors are lovely people. But you know, when I moved into Oak Park, the first suburb to the west of Chicago, Chicago's west side, where my family lived until my folks, when I was a little kid, were part of the white flight that fled the west side of Chicago, turning it all black. Oak Park was just the other side of Austin Boulevard and was a relatively affluent, mostly white suburb. Shortly after I moved into just 3 blocks across the line, the neighborhood watch, I was at some kind of meeting where the neighborhood watch cop said, he didn't say it in racist terms, he says, on the other side of Austin Boulevard, people are poor. They don't have stuff. You guys have stuff. Some of them are going to come across the line and try to take your stuff. It just makes sense. So it was a cop who essentially said the issue is economic disparity. That's what causes crime. That's what causes crime. But am I going to invite people to come and rob me by making my place look like a rich gringo lives there? No. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to clean up the yard. But the outside of my building looks just the way it always did. My wonderful landlord gutted that place and turned it into a lovely tiny home. So, is it because I think the poor Mexicans in that neighborhood are crooks? No. But some poor people are going to say, gee, gringo, he's probably got a lot of money. I'm not going to wave that flag. No. Okay.